But also talk about some of the programming meant to positively impact them. Roll it, Kirk. Well, you're familiar with Eugene Collins. He's been around a while, impacting the community, doing a great number of things for young people. Got a new gig we'll talk about in a moment, too. But what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Man, Clay, I'm doing good, bro. Doing good, man. Can't complain at all.
Well, we're into the summer now, and it's interesting because you and I had a conversation. We've had a number of conversations about what's happening with our kids, and what sparked us being here today is you and I talking about that incident some time ago at Liberty Lagoon.
Yeah.
And, you know, partially avoidable, but also predictable, right? And I think there's a culture of violence with our kids. But what was your reaction when you saw that?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I was looking at it that night, you know, I was watching it, and you know, some of it was horror, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the way our kids are behaving, and I know that the work that's been put into them. So, you know, it was met with some horror, some disappointment, some fear about the future.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you know, I look at that video and I see opportunity. I see chances to continue to try to reach these young people in a different kind of way. Because, Clay, I'm one of those guys that believe kids ain't changed that much.
No.
Just the stuff around them has changed a lot. But I think that we can still get to them.
Yeah.
I think with good services and good programming, there already are a ton. Improvements are needed for sure across the board, and I think everybody agree with that. But we got to keep pushing for these kids. So when I watched that video, I saw a lot of bad things, but I saw opportunity too.
So, you know, it wasn't, a lot of people have, like, kind of like you, I see opportunity, but it wasn't that surprising. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I don't mean like, I just mean when you know what's happening in and around these kids, this goes on in a lot of places. People just don't get to see it, right? And, you know, this is why mentorship programs are important. This is why schools are important. And this is why all this work we've been talking about is necessary, because this culture is here. But what you said is important too. Kids are not that different than they've always been. The kinds of trouble they get into is largely because of some of the access they have.
Yeah, and Clay, you brought up a great point about these are things that we don't always see. You know, I was reading a paper a few days ago about a fraternity brawl that took place at LSU, right? I think this culture of violence is just definitely like somehow embedded here in Baton Rouge right now. I mean, if you look on the internet, and Clay, I browse it every now and again, and I got younger kids, so they kind of keep me in touch.
But, you better browse it.
But one thing I've seen kids call in Baton Rouge lately, and it's not always about race, it's been both white and black, right? Because my kids are kind of on both sides of the aisle, right? You know, to see it called that rack, right? And to know that that's a part of the language when people speak about Baton Rouge, and that's not something that's ever been, you know, entwined here in Baton Rouge, no matter where you were from. I'm not from some ivory white tower community, right? I'm right from the inner city here in Baton Rouge, and we never refer to our town as that way, and that's across all aisles. But we don't always see this violence make it to social media, make it to the TV, but it's definitely there.
I saw no fear of law enforcement, none. And even before the incident that people have seen, because I've seen the entire video, because I just don't like partial context of anything before I form an opinion. I watched the entire video where the lady's narrating what's going on, and look, we've had some issues that have had to be addressed with law enforcement, and there's been some work done to do that. But the absolute disrespect without provocation is a problem too.
Yeah, and when you look at the interaction that night with law enforcement, if you've been around Baton Rouge a while and you've heard the stories, BRPD and the community have ended up at odds in some fashion for a very long time. You hear about the North Boulevard massacre in the 70s. You know, that was a time where citizens in Baton Rouge confronted the police, although for very different reasons. Scenes like that aren't unbeknownst to Baton Rouge.
Right.
Historically, we've seen scenes like that. the disappointment is I thought we were past it. I thought we were past those form of interactions. So when I look at that, I see work that needs to be done drastically in the community, especially with our young people, and talking about that respect for law enforcement that has to be there, but not only that, respect for each other, respect for people.
Respect for each other, and a lot of things go back to respect. Look, I got about a minute here. You got a new gig, man.
I did.
Tell everybody where you are now if they haven't heard.
So it's fresh. About 2 nights ago, I was named the executive director of the Baton Rouge Society.
AJ Johnson's been there a million years.
AJ has been there a long time. He's a very old guy now.
Hey, he said that, AJ.
But, this is cool, and a lot of folks don't know. About 18, 19 years ago now, that was my first job, the Baton Rouge Society. I was a outreach worker there. Yeah. So coming back there 20 years later and all the different things I've done in my career and go back to lead that organization is a surreal experience. It's kind of a circle almost, but that's sometimes how things work.
Well, look, I'm going to have a panel later in the summer talking about these young people, and I'm going to include some of them in there, but I want you to be a part of that.
Man, appreciate it, Clay.
You got it. Hey, listen, y'all, I want to tell y'all about Power Up. It's something that WAFB is a part of right now. It's a free family health and safety event that's going on now. It's going to be held on Friday, June 7th at the Baton Rouge Clinic on Perkins Boulevard. Now, the activities include, get this, car seat checks, giveaways, hearing and vision screening, Color the Weather coloring station is going to be there. Kona Ice, who's been in the community with us a lot around Baton Rouge. The St. George Fire Department will be there, Titan 9. And I'm telling you, it's going to be an absolutely amazing thing. The Power Up event, it's a free health and safety event going on from 8 to 2 p.m. on Friday, June 7th. All right, the summer feeding program in EBR schools kicked up. We'll talk about its impact and where you can find it next. Very happy to talk about the fact that the summer feeding program is going on. In fact, it's happening now. It started on May 28th and will go through August 2nd, which is really good for our community. So this person who's been harassing me all during the commercial break, Dr. Nicola Hall, Tia Fields, Hope Hickerson, all here to talk about the summer feeding program. I would start with you, but you just had all that noise to talk during the break. I'm starting with Hope because her name is so beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Hope, I think that people need to understand the impact of this program on kids, particularly those in disinvested communities. Talk about that.
This is so important because we know that having having food in general, but definitely nutritious food is the crux of everything. If we're talking about being able to function, to be able to comprehend anything, and just generally be a functioning member of society, you have to have access to food. And then the fact that we don't have, at one point we weren't sure if what was going to happen with summer feeding, and the uncertainty that led to families and people across the city. Right, it was just too much. So the fact now that we have processes in place, people know they will know where to go to receive those, like that contributes to well-being and health for their entire lives.
And you can see the website on the screen there. You can log on to the EBR Schools website to see the feeding programs that are available this summer, and also there is a map that'll tell you where the programs are. You know, Tia, I think during the school year, and Dr. Hall and I've talked about this, people underestimate the fact that when kids leave the home, the school is the only place they're going to get a meal during the day, and they often return home to nothing waiting on them there. That's an aspect of the school system that not many people think about.
Right, and one of the aspirations of One Rouge Cafe is to make sure that everyone, no matter their age or creed, has access to at least 3 healthy meals throughout the day. And what I love about the website is that we have 79 registered sites, and 20 of those are open to 18 and older. So we're not only just giving access to school-age students, but other people as well who needs access to food.
And you know, One Rouge, and then obviously the mayor's office participating in this. And from the school standpoint, you and I have talked a lot.
Yeah.
This has always been one of your priorities, the nutrition thing. Talk about where you see it going.
Yeah, so I want to touch base on what Hope stated earlier about the uncertainty of summer meals. So whenever there is anxiety in the community, back in December, January, we didn't know if we were going to have summer EBT or not. We were able to collaborate with the mayor's office and One Rouge Cafe and other organizations collaborations throughout the community to rally behind one cause, and that one cause is to provide healthy, nutritious meals and access to all kids, right? And this is the fruition of that collaboration.
Yeah.
And for me, I want to take this to the next level. You
Okay.
know, it's all about collaborating to focus on kids. And if we could just focus on kids and provide excellent education, access to resources, food, healthcare, etc., we could see a difference in our community. So for me, it goes past the summer feed-in. I want to expand on the winter feed-in. When
Yeah.
kids are out of school.
For the holidays.
For the holidays, we should be able to provide access to meals 7 days a week, as long as we stay within the USDA guidelines and the
Yeah.
state guidelines.
Yeah.
That is the goal for this initiative beyond the summer.
The USDA contributed $71 million to this program, which is why I never understood how the state would not have supported this when it was
Right.
always going to cost, only going to cost $3.5 million. So I'm kind of happy that common
Yes.
sense showed up and said, hello, I'm
Yes.
still around. All right, where can people get information about this? I got less than a minute.
Yes, so EBR school site, so EBR Summer meals, and you could go there and not only just to find location for the meals, you could also check out the mayor's healthybr.com, and they have access to the maps, and they have a really good, nice, fancy map that's up and going. So once again, it's making sure that the resource and the access of the information is everywhere, so anyone could just tap in and get it. And I also want to throw in a plug that
Sure.
we are hiring
Yes.
for teachers, bus operators, and child nutrition folks, because we cannot do this work by ourselves.
That's right.
So check out our career website on EBR to find a job that fits to you.
And the website one more time?
Oh, ebrschools.org.
All right,
Yes.
so they're hiring. The summer feeding program
Yes.
is going on. So Hope Hickerson, Tia Fields, and this trash talker, Dr. Nicola Hall, during the commercial break. One of my favorite people, Pat McAllister LaDuff, is here to talk about Kid Fest. We'll do it next. Now we're talking. One of my favorite people, Pat McAllister LaDuff, is here. Been so great in this community for so long. And look at these gorgeous little faces here. Zion and Zaria are here. They're here to talk about Kid Fest that's going to be taking place on June 8th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. What is Kid Fest?
Kid Fest is a platform for kidpreneurs. So
Kidpreneurs.
Kidpreneurs. They started that with Calvin Bill and them way back 30 years ago.
Yeah.
My mind is on my money and my money is on my mind.
Hello, somebody.
So this is a platform for the children that own their own business to sling it illegal.
Right. I love that because getting kids to engage their entrepreneurial spirit early is so important. So tell me about some of the things that happen out there.
So we're going to have 10 kidpreneurs. I want to start with that. So we'll have anything ranging from lemonade to books to popcorn, you know, you name it. And they won't be in competition this year with the adults because we only have kid vendors.
Oh.
And so it's no cost and it's no share cost. So whatever they make that day, they get to take home.
So wait a minute. So how do you select the kids?
So it was out on the social media,
Right.
and then people were calling in and signing up, and
Right.
then they had to do a Shark Tank at Scotlandville Library.
So they did an elevator pitch, right?
Yeah, elevator pitch, and so and we selected. They got selected from that.
I think that's fantastic. How many
yeah.
years have you been doing this?
Well, it's 31 years
31
for the
years. You
Juneteenth.
said going back
the
for
pre-Juneteenth, 93.
Wow.
Actually.
And
so
Calvin started this?
Well, no, Calvin had the entrepreneur.
Okay.
They had the entrepreneur, but in the entrepreneur program, they had kidpreneur. And so my kids came up in kidpreneur. And so I said, okay, well, it's time to recreate it. I told Calvin that before he died. I said, Calvin, we got to recreate that. He said, oh, you go ahead. You can make it happen.
He told the right person to do it.
And so we're making it happen because I think it was awesome. Yeah.
Look, I remember meeting your granddaughters before, and they came in and talked about what they're doing with business. They had what was the snack mix that they made?
Oh, trail mix, Posh Pop.
Yeah,
Posh Pop. Yeah.
Pop. And
they will be there.
And good. So Zaria has a book. She's not wearing a mic, but you tell me about her book.
So her book is Lulu the Lollipop Girl, and it talks about a little girl who actually will start eating healthy because she had a bad tooth and went to the dentist and it wasn't pleasant. And so in the end, Zaria through Lulu is helping the children eat healthy and take care of their teeth and brush their teeth. And so we're excited about that.
You know, Zion has a future in television. She's making certain that book looks really good. So Alyssa loves you because you're making so. What was that, Kirk? He said, Kirk says, thank you very much. They appreciate you in the back, just so you know that. I love that. So what do you find people miss about the importance of what you're doing? Because, I mean, for me, I get it. But I'm sure you've run across people who, they don't get it. Like, what is it?
We don't have enough confidence in our children. Confidence in our children. I mean, even us encouraging the parents, don't just hear your child say, "I want to do this." I use Posh Pop as an example. People could have said, I could have said, "Girl, nobody's gonna go buy popcorn." Popcorn's one of the oldest snacks. Who's going to pay $18 for a bag of popcorn, right? They're standing in line, right?
Oh,
and
it's
I told them
fantastic.
it doesn't work. It won't be because you didn't try, right?
In fact, where's my Posh Pop? But we'll talk about that after the segment. Look, I do want to ask you about something serious in this last minute or so we have. You and I were chatting about this incident at Liberty Lagoon, and I always love your perspective on things like that. I told Eugene Collins, who was here earlier, that, you know, for me, it was like, yeah, that's why we have to do the work.
Right.
What were your thoughts?
Do the work.
Yeah,
do the work. We have to bring back respect. And you have to gain that respect. And you have to give respect to get respect. And that's on both spectrums.
Yeah.
There was just disrespect, right? And then a lot of that we tolerate, and we actually inject ourselves as an adult because some of that is de-escalation.
Yes.
And we just add gas to the fire, you know, and just ruin what people are trying to do.
Yeah.
Right. And we need to get away from that.
Again, it's a reflection of what's out there, and you and I know it. But it goes back to respect.
That's
I mean,
right.
and
right.
the lack of adults de-escalating the situation, saying, "Come on, young ladies, y'all go on and get out of here."
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all for coming and being on the show. Zion, Zaria, my co-floor director here, she's done a great job. All right, so the travel season is beginning, and a lot of people are going to be moving around. Let's talk about traveling tips. Do that next. So I know a lot of y'all are hitting the road for the summer vacation season. We want you to be informed when you're moving around out there, and so I have a pro here. Valencia Burton is a travel agent, and we've got some tips we're going to share with you about the travel season. It's an exciting time, but people could lose money, not have their bookings taken care of, get someplace and realize this is not where I'm supposed to be, so you can help them out. And let's go through the 10 steps you gave us. Give me the first one, Alyssa, here. So this is number 1 in the top 10, not like Letterman, of reasons why you should hire a travel agent. Let's see what number 1 is. All right, you're an insider. Tell me about that.
Yes, first of all, good morning. And it's good to be here to explain to a lot of the clients or people that want to travel and say, I don't need a travel agent because I can do it myself. They make the phone calls themselves, make it really easy, make the phone calls or whatever, but the main thing is knowing what you're getting behind the scenes. So basically answering that question and being there, an agent makes it easier for the person not to worry about it. We have the inside of what they need to do and what they need to do.
Especially if you're traveling with a big group. All right, what's the next one? All right. You do the hard work. All right, what is that?
Yes, all the hard work is planning, making sure you leave on time. Long layovers are canceled. We definitely look at the long layovers. And also, we understand what our clients want. We want to make sure that the timing of the hotel arrival after they take a long flight. We want to make sure the flight is comfortable. We want to make sure they're on the right flight. We want to make sure there are any issues. We want to make sure that our clients are taken care of from point A to point B.
I love it. All right, next one. Extras are us. What is that?
Yes, basically, we know the extras. Travel agents are inside. We're the behind the scene, eliminate the middle person and go directly to the source, to the vendors.
Okay.
And we get extras that our clients want. Basically saying, if you're traveling to Hawaii, guess what? We can throw in those nice lays, the free lays that really real. These are not real. These are silk. So when you get off the plane, you want to be welcomed with the the type of, you know,
the culture of the place you're
that
going.
they have. Right,
All right,
exactly.
What's next? You save money. Now we're talking about something. Okay.
Right. Travel agents, which people are off the top thinking, oh, travel agents are going to charge me more. I got to pay. They're going to up the price so that they can get the money or whatever. No, we save you money.
Right.
Because if you're working with a vendor that we're selling what they have, who do you think is going to get the price? The wholesale price, basically. So we save money from beginning to the end, directly with the vendor, and not to hide it behind the scenes and see what the price is. You go right on, we get a better deal being that we're selling what the vendor has.
All right, next. All right, your service doesn't end with the sale.
That's correct. So, prime example, you go to a dealership, you're looking around, as soon as they see you on the platform, they're running out, hey, are you looking for a car? They're calling you, whatever, over and over.
And then once
you
you
get
buy
the car, once you buy the car, you never hear from them
again.
How's the car riding? So being with having a travel agent, it doesn't stop there. We want to make sure that you've gotten to the destination, everything is fine. We want to make sure everything is okay. You can make us a phone call. We're not, press 3. Say this. You're talking to a live person, right?
All right, give me the next two, Alyssa. What's the next one? All right, someone is available, and after that? All right.
Yes.
Okay. And feels good to
shop local.
All right,
exactly.
give me those two. Someone's there shopping local.
Okay, so someone is always here. We're not going to tell you, go on the website, click this button, go to 3, press star. You're waiting for someone to answer. You're on hold. No, you get a travel agent directly. When you have a personal travel agent, such as myself, you have direct access, not on a website. You have my phone number. You have my direct number, my direct email. We get calls. We answer them. If we can't answer you because we're working with another client, we will call you back. You get direct access.
I hate using machines. What's the last one? Oh, the last. So what is the last one on the list? Your services are free. Okay.
Services are free.
Free 99. We like that.
Exactly.
All right.
We're not charging anything extra. We're only getting a commission to do the things that our client needs and make things well. Very easy before the trip, during the trip, and after the trip. We want to make sure everything is well. If anything goes wrong, we know the inside of what's happening, to and from places. So
Try Luxury Travel. First time on TV. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, so Father's Day is next week, and Kirk and I are going to be horribly obnoxious. See you then. All right. Great job.